The strat, eat a light meal, like, just eat a light meal.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like a nice.
At Season 8 LAN, RCS LAN, Panda, Yukio, and Astral didn't eat the entire day before the play. The most brain dead. This is actually a brain dead shot. It's such a brain dead shot. They literally starved themselves.
Good work, but that is too brain dead. Yeah, you need to eat a little bit. I get the survival, but I think no, it's actually a thing. I know it's a thing. I saw it somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
This game's short. We need to go crazy now and just score.
Yeah. Oh shit, I'm not there.
Nah, it's fine,
Oh, nice, well played. I'm up. Take time. Look at the techie.
What?
Techie, never mind.
And I just got the boost and the ball somehow.
What's up,
Just
techie?
look at it. Oh.
Don't get why not each doesn't. Ah, because it's like a strat. Like they'll be like on like playing 110% because they got like survival mode. Alright, this game is over.
Yeah.
Alright.
This called all open.
I'm gonna take a break from ranked and like eat, but we can stay in call if you want. I don't care. But I'm not gonna queue. Have you got a tournament?
I'm gonna get. Yeah, I'm gonna get off the game for a bit.
Alright. Good luck, man. Good luck.
Alright, enjoy your stream, man. Enjoy your scram.
Alright, we're good. See you later. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
God, that'll be fun. I see you later. I love Billy. That's what done for his energy exactly, yeah. On a Virgin strat. Yeah, that's because you're obese, bro. Nah, it's like intermittent fasting or something. It's like intermittent fasting. I don't know, bro. I don't think it's smart either. I don't think it's smart. What's up, Southpaw? I'm joking, my guy. I'm joking. You really, man? Long time no see, man. Not spoke to you in weeks. Yeah, see you later. I'm gonna chill in free play for a bit. You can. I'll get some. We get the chat interaction up. Let's get the chat interaction up. Come on. When that mic peaked, right? I seen about 200 people type, and you're all sitting there saying nothing. Do you want me to do it again? Like, come on, bro. Is that the only way I can get you to talk? You want hot takes, mate? I don't really have hot takes, bro. Not in Rocket League, not really, bro. You know, not really, bro. Anyone can win. Everyone at this level is good. London, like literally, like about 10 teams could win London. Like, I don't have any crazy predictions. Like, nothing interesting to tell you. Yo, Super, thanks so much for 7 months sub. Hang on, takes now. Save that, bro. Save that. Favorite show then? I mean, that's a bit of a dead question. I can't lie. Nah, I mean, I don't know, bro. I enjoyed Hunter x Hunter when I watched it, to be honest. Top 5 teams. Like, in the world. G2, BDS, obviously. Right? Then, obviously, Moist. Right? That's 3 obvious picks. Then the next 2 picks are like... Honestly, that's kind of up for debate. You could say Falcons. You could say Endpoint. You could say version 1. You know... You could say fucking... Liquid. You literally could say Liquid now. Who else? FaZe, yeah, FaZe 100%. I forgot about FaZe. That's a good one, yeah. So there's like 8 teams that you could say. I would say FaZe in my opinion. I think so. FaZe, BDS, G2, Moist, and the 5th team is like. The 5th team is honestly Falcons, Liquid, or Endpoint. V1, nah. Nah. Torment's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, he's alright. If Beast Mode gets like, if Beast Mode joins another roster, like, you'll be known as the best player in the world. The best character on next one is Hisoka, 100%. Or the old guy. It's quite cool. Yeah, the old guy in Hisoka, definitely. By far. Sub. I've never watched dub. That's cheating. Marry me, yeah. Yeah. Killua is like an edgelord character for like edgy 14-year-olds. Like, if you see more like Killua avatar, you know they're like, have the mind of a 9-year-old. It's like the most edgy character. Like, Hisoka is bro, by far the most entertaining character. Oh my god, bro. Bro. I thought I was trying to choke it there. Oh my god. I mean, he's extremely noncy, but you know. Bro, I need to recover from that. What do you guys think about Noli's Twitter? Thoughts on Noli's Twitter, bro? He started tweeted last night. Like, someone love me. I can't believe he tweeted that, man. I respect it. We should watch Hunter x Hunter stream. I mean, I've already watched it. There's nothing to watch. I will not be watching anymore anyway. No, I know, bro. I know. My teammates. Ah, the whole extendo. Hey, but I don't want to watch it. I've already watched it. Why am I gonna watch something I've already watched? I know you're gay. I know. And both of them aren't really that good either. Noli is quite mechanically good though. What's up, camera? Nah, not really. Red's a cool guy, you're right, he's a nice guy. That's alright. I want to see Itachi pop off, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, Itachi carries KCU. Like, Itachi carries the team. Itachi carries, bro. If you actually understand Rocket League, then you will see that. If you, like, understand the game, like, when you're watching, you would understand that. I mean, he wins every 50. He's got a big midfield presence. He scores on when he clutch goals. doesn't matter, bro. Bro, best player prediction doesn't mean anything, bro. It's a prediction, you know what I mean? I mean, it's like rating players in tier list doesn't mean anything. It's like vapid. It's hollow. There's no like there's no value to it. There's no weight to it. It's just valueless like it just doesn't have any value to it. It's like Johnny's content or like rating players top 20. That is like it doesn't really have any value whatsoever. I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends what you want to see. I mean, I think that's a compliment, right? I do like joggers. It's fun to listen for 2 hours. I mean, not when you have 12 killers in the game, no. Hi, Brennan. What's meaning? Doing what you love. Following the path of the Lord. Yes, my boy. Nah, top five coolest pros to hang around with in real life. Me. Hebs, bro. Hebs. Come, nah, me Hebs. No. Arsenal, bro. Arsenal. Nah, Arsenal is so funny in person, bro. Arsenal's a cool guy, man. Or Risers. Yeah. You can. I don't know, you tell me. KW, yeah. Oh, all pros are cool, bro. Like, literally, bro, like, I have honestly never met a pro that's been like a dickhead. Like, every single Rock League pro, like, cool people, bro. Like, not even joking. Like, some people have bad English. Like, some of them have really bad English, but they're all cool people, bro. No, honestly, like, honestly. I could never say that I, like, actively, like, I've ever met a Rock League pro and be like, I dislike this guy. Like, no, First Killer is so sound, bro. First Killer is a sound guy. Even, like, his dad, bro. His dad is a very sound guy. Very sound guy. I'm quite a big fan. Thor, yeah, bro. Thor's mate, bro. Me and Thor get along well, bro. Except when we play with each other. Greasy, nah, bro. Greasy's the soundest guy ever, bro. The Drama Society, no, this is a Rocket League, bro. It's a video game, you know what I mean? Like, we're pro video game players. We're not professional, like, we're not professional UFC fighters or professional fucking, like, athletes. Like, we're just gamers. It's not that deep. Yeah, man. Thanks. What's up, Mikhail? I still don't think being a pro player is an athlete. Like, I literally, like, I seen that Shaq clip, and like, it's actually quite a good argument. The Shaq clip was a good argument, but I think it's missing the vital point of like, Nah, it's not any physical activity. I don't know. I don't think a snooker player is an athlete. I don't think a darts player is an athlete. I don't think like a chess. Maybe a chess player is a mental athlete. But I wouldn't really call them full-fledged athletes. I don't really think esports players are athletes. Yeah, those so sound, bro. You sure that I'm not good at pinches, to be honest. I'm not good at them at all. Alpha 54 is the best at pinches. Yoris, bro. Yoris is crazy at pinches. I don't know torsos, bro. Yeah, competitor is a much better term. Like darts players are all alkies, bro. You know what I mean? You know we do on scrims right now, no. I mean, I never played darts. Never played that. Yo, Asball, bro, thanks so much for 4 monthly sub. Welcome back, I really appreciate that, bro. What's up? I don't know, you tell me. Is it not TTS? Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, obviously. I think Falcons win. Honestly, I believe in Liquid, bro. I believe in Liquid. Like, I think Liquid will. I think Liquid can take it against them, to be honest. I believe in Liquid. Like, I feel like Liquid are gonna pop the fuck off at LAN. I think Oski's gonna go play amazing at LAN. I think he's gonna actually pop the fuck off. I reckon that's our team that's gonna pop off at LAN. They've got nothing to lose, bro. They got nothing to lose. They don't have to play World. Like, they got nothing, bro. Like it doesn't matter what they do. Like it doesn't, like, obviously money in that, yeah, but like in terms of points, it doesn't fucking matter anyway. Falcons and Liquid is like the best matchup by far. Like, they're like, honestly, like some of the best teams in the tournament. That matchup is crazy. I mean, they proved how good they are. Bro, I'll be there, bro. Okay, so I know what you mean. I know what you mean, actually. But that's like a good thing, though. Yeah, in time when it matters. Nah, I never said that, bro. I never said that, bro. I never, ever. I swear I never said that. No. No, 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 no. I never said that. Like, everyone on Liquid's really good. It's not about being the best in the team, bro. It's about being the best team. It ain't about being the best on your team, bro. It ain't about that, being the best or the worst or anything. It's about pulling your own weight, you know? And like, yeah, I mean, it ain't about that shit, bro. Dude, I can't just call him Atoll. Man, it must be Americans, bro, honestly. Like, if they pronounce it like that, like, it must be some American thing. It's obviously Atoll, like, Tau, not Atoll. It's got a W. Like, I don't get that either, like, that actually tilts me to... I remember when Cash used to call Maestro, Maestro. They were like, Maestro, like, nah, bro, it's not Maestro. I know, Rock League caches are pretty good, to be honest. I think Rock League caches are pretty good, like, not all of them, but... Bro, I don't think anyone's overrated or underrated, like, literally. Because, like, who's rating them? You know what I mean? Like, the question is a team overrated. Overrated according to who? You? The chat? You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Nah, Rock League caches are kind of... I thought they were bad, but now I kind of realize that they're alright. Nah, they got a lot better. Nah, it's Joris. I mean, it's Jorius. Anyone can win, bro. Like, anyone can win. Like, the bottom tier teams are probably not gonna win, but anyone else can win. Like, the APAC teams, the OCE teams, realistically, nah. But, like, anyone else, yeah. South American team, North American team, KSA team, European team, they can all win. They can all win. Like, 4 regions can win, bro. South America have proved that they're good enough now. I don't know why they don't get more spots. Like, South America are such a good region. I think they're, like, almost as good as NA and EU already. Middle East, I think it's more justified to give South America more spots than Middle East, in my opinion. And you're gonna get a lot of people that are gonna hate me for this, but I think that Middle East, like, they've literally only got one team that's really, really good in my opinion. And like, you're gonna get the Johnny Boy fans that are like, no, but like, I think Sam have much more competition.
Sometimes if we go rogue.
They have much more competition.
Summoners if we go rogue, making a beeline for the bot lane, something, but there's already a ward in there by Targamas. Actually looks like Blackhead was the one to place the ward. No sweeper used yet. Malrang does have one with that Oracles, and Rogue just gonna make the long way round here. Jankos taking a small trip, a little adventure over towards this red buff. Of course, can start the recall, then ward at the end of his recall, which is exactly what he's going to do. Goes back, switches to Oracles, and then can play around any vision that maybe put around his red buff. You can see the ward right there from Malrang. Actually, it looks like it was Trimby that placed that ward.
Yeah, Trimby placed it. Going to swap to his sweeper. So 2 sweepers on the side of G2. 2 wards used, 1 sweeper on the side of Rogue, 1 ward used. We'll give information as to where both junglers are starting, and of course, if Jankos isn't starting red, he's starting blue, so Rogue will know exactly where he is, unless he does some kind of wolf start, which I think will be a little bit unconventional, unless you can start W. Haven't really tried it myself, but nevertheless, it looks like Jankos will be starting on the top side of the map, both junglers pathing down towards their bot lanes. Now, important to note, G2's comp is very level 6 heavy. Early setup, not so great, but once Diana, Yasuo level 6, incredibly good setup. Yone, Diana level 6, incredibly good setup. That's where they're looking towards. Whereas Larson has set up for Malrang in the early stages. They have a pretty strong 2v2. Jankos will have to be a little bit careful about that, but both panning towards the bot side, as I said previously, a little bit of trading on bot side already.
Yeah, you can see Flacker just looking for a bit of damage, getting as many stacks as he can. Not as easy as for a Senna to get stacks in a double ranged matchup against a ranged support. Comp and Trimby will be pushed in a little bit here. Flackhead playing the support, no real surprises. Obviously Senna, as you go through the game, becomes more and more of an AD carry. And so having your traditional AD carry on that pick makes a lot more sense than trying to make Targamas learn a different set of mechanics than he usually would have to implement.
I think mid lane is going to be the biggest focus for both these teams. two melee matchups. Sylas, Yasuo, a lot to play for. Caps is going to take away the Raptors. Will take a lot of damage, but he can really see that Malrang's here. I mean, he knows he started on the top side of the map, but he's trying to slow down Malrang's pathing. So now Malrang's forced to go towards the bot side. Not so much that he lose the 1v1 to Caps, but he wastes so much time waiting for the Raptors to come back. Broken Blade extremely low HP here. If Odoamne levels up and gets his access to his E, there is a little bit of kill pressure. Obviously running the Doran's Blade, not the shield, so trades hurt extremely hard. Orin does deal a lot of damage. Melee lanes in both solo lanes means there's going to be a lot of trading. Just crafting right in his face. Larson dodges out on the Tornado, goes back in for a trade.
Looks for some damage there. Caps wanting the Ignite. Larson with the TP means that Caps does have a little bit more kill threat in the lane because of that aggressive summoner. But Larson, if the lane's in a bad state, can always go back and TP back in. Caps taking a lot of hurt there. You can see that bar underneath him does mean that next time he's attacked, he would have a shield.
He's in a base. I think he just really wants to get that wave in and base because he knows he doesn't have TP. And if Larson holds the wave, bases, TP's back, then Cap's going to have to crash the next one when Larson's already based, so it makes his life a little bit harder. But he's going to stay. Maybe he doesn't have a very good buy. Or did Larson hold the wave? Yeah, he did. He took a lot of damage holding it. So now 2v2 mid is going to happen. G2 want to crash the wave. Rogue want to stop it from happening.
Larson not the highest mana here. We'll just be able to try and catch some of this minion wave. We'll note while we were looking at the mid lane, Broken Blade flashed in the top lane and has now had to teleport back. Marwan jumping across the wall, but of course Nimbus striking to decoy back over means that he has a lot of mobility on this Wukong.
Definitely does. And those Raptors that Caps pulled out earlier on, Jankos wants to contest and maybe gets a camp up. Malrang was the winner on the bot crab because he skipped his Gromp, whereas Jankos full cleared. So Jankos going to take away a couple of the small Raptors and get the top crab for himself. Small advantage for him, but not the end of the world.
Yeah, not at all, because Larson, obviously, having mana, needed to go back, replenish it, comes back into the lane with that teleport. Does burn his summoner, but he'll be okay in this sort of situation. Falls a bit behind in CS. Should be able to clean up all of these, so about a wave in arrears right now.
Yeah, the ideal base for Yasuo is Berserker Greaves. Instant buy, but you can see Caps' items. He didn't just have enough, but he couldn't stay another wave because Larson TP'd back, so that stings a little bit. No potions either. He's just going to run back and catch the wave. Expect Caps to take another early base to make sure he gets those Berserker Greaves. Yone, very similar. And like we said, yeah, G2 just looking for those level 6s.
Odoamne prioritizing armor a lot in this top lane as well. Already got the double cloth, makes a lot of sense into Broken Blade. Get yourself a Warden's Mail into these AD matchups, makes it a lot easier for Odo to survive. Broken Blade now does have the push on that Yone, just a little bit more wave clear on the AD.
Yeah, and looks like Rogue's bot lane first wants to base, picked up that Noon Quiver. I think Comp had Longsword 3 pots. Actually, no, he just refunded it, went for the Berserker Greaves himself. A little bit of more mobility in the lane. Makes it so he's pretty much safe. Odoamne has not TP'd back yet, importantly, so he wants to stay in lane, use as much mana and HP without dying to chunk Broken Blade out so that when he TP's back, he has more of a natural advantage. Definitely playing with fire a bit here. If Jankos was on the top side, he could get dove, but he's going to take that risk. No vision either.
Broken Blade still...
Does he have dive pressure?
About 3 minions away from hitting level 6. So we'll see what Odoamne does. My expectation is he'll auto-attack these last couple of minions and then just back. Yep. That's exactly what he's going to do. He will be able to TP back in Broken Blade. These last 2 minions here will give him 6, so smart move there from Odoamne to make sure that he wasn't under kill threat. One of the benefits, obviously, of Yone and Yasuo and champions that don't have mana bars is you can consistently trade and make your enemy use mana. And if you're trading equally on HP, you always win out in the end because your enemy has a resource that you don't. Yep. And so when they're low on mana, you're like, cool, I just have to wait for my cooldowns to be back up and I'm in a great situation.
Definitely is. There's a Berserker Greaves for Broken Blade. We'll get to the top side a little bit quicker. Caps probably wants to base to pick that up as well. Malrang sees Jankos, doesn't know Flackhead's over the wall. They're going to collapse. Larson was looking for it. He was hovering on the bot side. Sweeper spots out Senna.
Of course, Malrang can jump across this wall. Handshake back. Trimby going in. Flackhead has to try and flash away. Ignite is ticking. He will escape. Jankos there in time to protect his AD carry.
Malrang was thinking about Wing over the next wall and then chasing with his flash, I think, but he knew that Flackhead had heal still, so didn't have enough damage to commit, and Jankos was around. Now Drake started. Jankos, is it worth dashing in and dying to try and steal this? Definitely not, but does he want to give up the crab as well? Because that gives Malrang a quicker access to level 6. Jankos is up in camps though, so he's going to sprint towards the top side of the map. You can see Caps has mid push, so maybe Jankos can take away Malrang's red buff. I wonder how close Jankos is to 6. If he gets this, does he level up? If he does, that means that there we are. So the red buff contest just falls in G2's favor. Malrang needs to recover that. Odoamne maybe needs to move because they have no information here. So Jankos is baiting that he's on the red, but instead he's just going to stay here and wait for Malrang. Will they find each other?
Jankos now moves over to the red. Caps trying to get into range for that last breath. Of course,
he doesn't want to do it.
Very long jump forward. Malrang now stepping in once again, as you say. Looks a little bit apprehensive.
think what Malrang was hoping for there was waiting for Larssen to push in mid, and if Caps showed, then he'd go in and try the 1v1.
Yeah.
But as long as Caps is not showing, Malrang walks in, Diana ult, Yasuo ult, he's instantly dead. So smart play there, just has to give up his red for the Dragon.
And overall, although we have yet to have a kill in this game, G2 have navigated the early game relatively well, have got towards those level 6, and you can see Jankos a little bit more aggressive now on the lap, a little bit more on the map, sorry, a little bit more willing to look for these plays. Odoamne going in. Bellows Breath has been used. Oh, Broken Blade missed the knockup, the counter knockup coming out. Here's the call of the Forge God. Malrang's going to try and join. Cyclone, a possibility. The brittle passive on Broken Blade as well. He tries to turn it back around. Jankos falls for first blood. Broken Blade will get one. Malrang's going to try and answer this, just needs that red buff. Of course, Broken Blade can jump across this wall. Flash coming off cooldown now as well. Could try and turn this around. Does have the flash in about 2 seconds.
Oh, BB.
Puts the damage in.
Larssen's on the way.
Okay, so Broken Blade has flash. Has a bush to get into.
He's going to try and execute.
One tower shot. Larssen here. Flash forward. You can't flash away from the King Slayer.
Yeah, just seal the deal, make sure it goes in their favor. I really wonder what happened to Broken Blade's ultimate there. I think what he tried to do was ult backwards to hit Odoamne so they didn't go into tower range when the ult landed, because obviously you appear behind your target. Or it was just some kind of misclick here. We'll have a look at this again because Odo dashes forwards. Broken Blade dashes forward. He tries to ult backwards to stay behind Odo. But in that case, he just completely misses because Odo flashes away, and then the knockup from Odo means that Malrang will kill Jankos, who invested his flash to try to kill Odo as well. It ends up in a 1-for-1, but because of mid-push and Caps, you can see on the minimap just based, Larssen just runs to the top side, ignores the wave, and yeah, Broken Blade has no way out. At least he gets Larsen's flash. Doesn't want to take the risk as to the execute coming through.
Yep, does end up in a 2-for-1 for Rogue though, and G2 actually waited really well there, waited for the Bellows Breath to come out from Odoamne, meaning that he didn't have that CC resistance that you often get on Ornn when you use that W. As soon as that was down, they went in. Odoamne now realizes Jankos and Flakked are off towards this top side of the map, so he will just go back towards his lane. Dragon not up for 2 minutes, obviously, because Rogue took it a few minutes ago.
Yeah, bot lane's been a bit quiet, but Flakked just moved topside to help out on this Herald. I think he got spotted out, and Aphelios has the red and white gun, so his tower is going to get absolutely melted. Targamas can't really walk up because no information on Malrang. I think Jankos and Flakked are going to have to run through mid to bot side ASAP to defend the bot side camps, or they could just Herald mid here and try to just put some counter pressure on the map.
It's definitely a possibility for them. Instead, looks like they are going to try and work their way down towards this bottom side. No real deep vision from Rogue. A couple of wards, you know, one control ward there and one ward in the pixel bush. Jankos trying to get the scuttle grab under Malrang's nose and will do it, but Malrang happily walking away with the red buff that he just stole.
Yeah, I think Comp got around three plates. Yeah, he got 3 plates there, so it's a pretty even trade with Jankos getting the Herald, but the problem is Targamas got denied so much gold and experience that it's slightly Rogue favored. We'll see how G2 use the Herald though, because if they can use it to crack open a full tower, then it could be a little bit more advantageous.
That's the thing, like G2 have potential gold, whereas Rogue have actual gold right now from that Herald. G2, if they can get 3 or 4 plates out of this, then great. You know, you've been able to equalize that gold a little bit. Cap's gone a bit too far forward. Malrang looking for it. Caps flashes away. But unless we see a good Rift Herald play from G2, they're actually lost out on that trade.
Yeah, I was talking to Leader a bit about the state of Yone and Yasuo in the current meta, and he told me that they work if you rush Blade of the Ruined King first item.
Sure.
And I think that's exactly what Caps and Broken Blade are going to do. They're going to have 2 Blade of the Ruined Kings by the second, maybe the 3rd Dragon fight, and that's where their power spike comes through. I mean, it obviously delays the 100% crit, but the Blade is such a powerful item on both these champions that it looks like Jankos wants to invest gold into Caps for now, and obviously the Blade on Broken Blade will help against the Ornn.
Fall back into TP here for the Everfrost. It looks a little troll from Larssen to just immediately come back in. Only 2 tower plates taken by G2 there, so a bit of extra gold in Caps' pocket, a bit of extra gold in Jankos' pocket. You can see both of them are about 200, 300 gold ahead of their counterparts, but down towards that bottom side, the comparison you have to make is between the Swain and the Aphelios, because those are the 2 farming, but Comp, 4,100 gold to only 3,300 on Targamas. It's a sizable lead for Comp, and Aphelios only scales better as the game goes on.
Yeah, Targamas losing out a little bit because of the experience and gold that he got denied from the swap towards Herald. The beauty of the Swain is the items that he needs are very cost efficient. They're very low economy gold that he needs to actually be useful. So when he gets that Imperial Mandate first item, it's very, very cheap. Should match the Aphelios on that first item spike. And I think that the beauty of this game is it's so even that we're going to get to a point in the game where it's a 5v5, and not only is it going to be such a banger 5v5, but there's so much skill expression on G2. You know, the Yasuo, the Yone, there's so much kind of different things they can achieve in fights to just single-handedly carry the game. You know, you got Larssen on Silas as well, can take away a couple of these ultimates and make some plays of his own. I mean, if he takes away Caps' ult and Malrang gets a double knock-up, then you basically reverse the combo back onto them. Dragon falls in favor of Rogue. 2 dragons towards... for them, sorry. Around 10 minutes to assault, Will Wing Mountain. Cancel on the base using the protocol there.
Cancel. Odo doesn't really have anywhere to go. Fate sealed. And from long range, Flackard will take his first kill of the game.
Odo has TP. They'll get a couple of plates. I don't think they'll get the full tower. The wave's not big enough. Let's see how Rogue respond. The problem for Malrang is he took the Drake and ran through mid to top side now, so he's taking away his own red buff. But that means that there's no cross map. If imagine a world where Malrang was on the bot side of the map right now, they could look for some kind of bot dive. But they're not going to be able to do that because he kind of greeted there for his own red.
Has been stolen from him once before. Doesn't want that to be repeated, apparently. But even Trimby and Comp here, only against Targamas. Of course, the Demonic Ascension does give Swain a lot of extra tankiness and can be very difficult to deal with. Never move as well, a very powerful route if Targamas can get it out. But for the moment, looks like Malrang's looking towards the mid lane. Larson going in as well. The Everfrost dodged by Camps, but you can't dodge the Cyclone. Targamas trading here with the Demonic Ascension down towards the bottom side. Demon Flare just needs it, but Trimby flashes. Targamas pulls him back with the Never Move.
2v2 kill in favor of G2 and a death in mid lane as well. Larson will get a couple plates for himself and G2 will push in the bot side of the map. No objectives for either side other than plates, but incredibly well played by the Rogue mid-jungle to make sure that kill onto Caps happens. Larson was baiting out on the bot side of the map saying that I'm not going to kill you, there's no pressure, and he used his E to gap close onto the creeps. Everfrost slow came through. You can see on the builds on both Yasuo and Yone both going towards that blade, but take a look at this bot 2v2 again. Targamas is alone for now. I'm guessing he pulls someone in into a root by Senna, and then that's just how they follow up. Pull in, root. If Trimby flashes, it's going to hit anyway. Decides to flash because he looks like the exhaust takes the brunt of the damage, but Targamas can follow through. And Jankos is there to make sure that they can keep chasing in case someone was behind them. In that case, Malrang was mid. It's always good to be better to be safe than sorry. Actually, mid tower died there, so Larson got the full mid tower. That's got to accelerate his gold so much, and now Rogue are trying to focus his bot tower. No plates left. His tower is a couple hits and it's gone.
Should be able to get it pretty quickly. Actually looks like Targamas might be skipping past the Imperial Mandate straight towards a Rylai's here on the Swain. Of course, the extra slow when you're in that Demonic Ascension can do a huge amount of work. Maybe just with that kill had a good back for the Blasting Wand and wanted that extra bit of damage down towards the bottom side.
So Rogue off to over 1,000 gold lead, but the important thing to note here is G2 have a lot of standing gold. That mid tower, extremely low HP. This top tower can die quite easily if they just put 2 or 3 members up here, or if you need Broken Blade to just chip it down slowly. So the gold should even up eventually. The only problem for G2 right now is Rogue have two dragons. 2 minutes on the next one. If they get that, they're on soul point, but Caps just came out of base and got Blade as well. So both these solo lanes are spiking. This is one of their strongest points. Will dish out so much damage. I think level 11 for Caps, and they're pretty happy to just take the next fight.
But look at where Larson is in terms of itemization as well. Everfrost and the Zhonya's already complete. Comp has his Gale Force, and if Rogue are able to find a slower, more methodical teamfight, you have to feel that with an Aphelios, they should be able to burn through G2. G2 looking for that initial engage, looking for that pure upfront burst with the Fate Sealed, with the Moonfall from the Diana. If you can just burst someone out, it makes it a lot harder for Rogue to play.
So it's a bit of an awkward game state now as well, because both teams need to contest mid waves. But
Sure.
G2 want to crack this top tier one, but don't have TP and Dragon spawning soon. And Rogue want to defend it, but Dragon spawning soon. So you've got this kind of lull state where both teams are just hovering around mid. Maybe we're going to fight.
Malrang flashes forward, flash away by Flackard. Malrang looking for some damage on the Caps. Second Cyclone coming in. Comp puts down a Shuriken, but Malrang just too deep as Flackard was able to flash away. Top lane tower could fall as well as Broken Blade goes in. Dawning Shadow enough. G2, 2 kills across the map.
I don't know what Malrang was expecting there. He goes in, but his team's all at their own tower, so there's no follow-up whatsoever. He falls. Broken Blade, like we talked about, will just chip away at this tower. Actually has the damage to dive Odo Amne. Maybe Odo took a bad trade there and flashed over the wall after trying to get some vision. Larson's around. Bibi has flash.
Yeah, Larson won't go in with the Fate Sealed. G2, instead of setting up vision down towards the bottom side, say we can get the Rift held and then reset and then look for that third dragon of the game. First for them, of course.
And Ultimate's blown there as well. Flash ultimate from Wukong is so powerful because you can catch the enemy team off guard quite easily. Now that tool is gone, and 20 seconds on Dragon. I wonder if the call for Rogue is just to give it. Let's have, this is going to be the top lane fight. No, it's going to be the mid one. So what is the call here from Rogue? Because Malrang says, I'm going to go in. But look where Larson is. He's just used his Everfrost and he's catching the wave. Comp's not even there yet. Maybe he thought he could flash onto Flacken and then get towards Caps, knock him up. But they all have summoners up. It's quite a confusing play. Gives a shutdown over to Flacken, and then I think Odo just flashed the wall. Maybe he was trying to contest some kind of vision towards mid, and BB just punishes it.
Yeah, Yone just has so much damage in these sorts of situations, and the safety, obviously, to jump back with that Soul Unbound. Rogue here, though. No Call of the Forge God for about 10 seconds. Rogue will want to delay this one as long as they can. Of course, the hostile takeover, a possibility from Trimby.
Look at this Herald, though. He's going to crash onto this bot tier 1. Broken Blade could keep going, but he doesn't have the TP. His ult's coming back up in a second, so everyone has their ultimates up apart from Flacket, basically, and they're ready to fight Larson. I wonder how long it's going to take until his ultimate falls off.
Flacket, no flash. Targamas, no flash as well. Marang in the pit with the Dragon. It does reset. Larson pulled back, pops the stopwatch. Oh, there's the stop takeover, but Yankos still gets in. Trimby with a bailout, but Comp can't be bailed out by anyone. The Dragon still for the taking here for G2. Marang able to get 1. 3 against 3 now. Riftel still charging forward. Marang, Larson, and Odo trying to do what they can, but Yankos, no real engage tool for him anymore. No flash, no moonfall. Broken Blade can try and do it. The smites secured by Malrang. Riftel will charge, but that tower will not fall.
Yeah, G2 are probably going to push in this mid wave and move towards topside. It would be pretty smart for them if they could just take away the topside jungle right now, because they need Rogue. They know Rogue has to go towards the bot side of the map. You could see the dive buddies of Caps, Yankos, and Broken Blade getting onto the backline of Rogue. They managed to kill Comp, but Caps fell as well, interestingly enough. So maybe they need a little bit more items or a little bit more defensive tools like a shield bow when they go for that. But the lucky thing for them now is Comp has no flash, so it just gets a hell of a lot easier next time. But Rogue's on soul point.
5 minutes away from what could be the deciding fight of the game. Broken Blade here looking for Trimby. Oh, you just can't do anything as Trimby here pops the bailout. The chase is on for Yankos, but Marang settles for the Krugs instead. Marang still chasing forward here. You can see Larson trying to come in from the side as well. Does have the Everfrost. Good flash Everfrost, but that would be a little bit greedy. And you don't know where the rest of G2 are. Gold swings now in G2's favor.
So let's keep our eyes on Broken Blade, Caps, and Yankos. Yankos sees the angle. Flash ultimate onto 2 when Larson pots the stopwatch. Caps gets the follow-up, BB gets the follow-up. Everyone dives onto them, but Caps actually falls here. Comp's solo killing him almost with Trimby by his side. Then you take stock. Malrang's also solo killed Flacket, so 2 1-for-1 exchanges on each side of the dive. And then the divers turn around and look at each other like, hang on a second, it's a 3v3, and now Larson's in a 1v3.
There's nowhere for him to go once again. The chase from long range. Moonfall into Fate Sealed is just too strong here for G2, and Broken Blade popping off now on this Yone. Most gold in the game.
It's going to be really hard for Rogue to be able to deal with that Yone the later the game goes on. So accelerated right now. And Odoamne doesn't stand a chance on the side lane. They're going to have to invest many numbers to take him down. 3 minutes left on the next Dragon, though. That could be soul for Rogue. GT needs to be very careful as to how far they extend these leads. A pick is great, but if Dragon's in 30 seconds and you're overextending for a tower and then you're down in tempo, you could give up that soul. So they're going to be very wary and very cautious as to how far they go into the enemy jungle.
Sorry.
No, Cap's just going to catch his wave.
Yeah, he is down towards the bottom side. I was going to say, I really like G2's ability to get onto the backline, because usually, like, you buy a ticket to the backline, okay, it's a few stops, you have to dodge around, you have to get there, but they can actually just get the priority pass. Like, they dodged through the hostile takeover in that last fight around the bot side. None of them were stopped by it, because you have Flash Moonfall, and it's like, cool, who cares if Diana's berserk and attacking her teammates, because you've got the last breath and the Fate Seal to follow it up.
The trade-off is Yankos was the one initiating that, and he had to flash to commit it to make it happen. He will have it for the next Dragon, but Comp's flash will come up as well. So every time it's like yin and yang, you know, it's just kind of traded off every time they want to dive on and flash in. It's the one time that Yankos flashes in and they don't get the kill, and Comp saves his flash, that it's really dangerous, because then they have the advantage, or vice versa. Important to note here, Targamas has finished the Mandate and the Rylai's. Really, really cheap build. Managed to pick that up before 20 minutes. Broken Blade has the shield bow. Caps is probably building towards the shield bow as well. 2 items on Yankos. Bot tier 2 is quite low. Rogue, if they commit towards top tier 1, it will be a trade-off of towers. You can see how far back Odoamne is playing. He knows he can't defend this whatsoever. And if they were to move bot and defend this, they'd lose their mid tower. So that's the power of playing on 2 lanes. Rogue can play on 1. Bot tier 2 is always worth more gold than top tier 1. And it will be a trade-off. Broken Blade not going to TP to defend this.
G2 now 5,000 gold ahead. For anyone wondering about the Swain build, basically, what happens is Imperial Mandate, when you slow or immobilize someone, marks enemies, gives you a little bit of bonus magic damage, but also marks enemies so that when your allies attack them, they take more damage. And alongside the Rylai's, you pop your ultimate, you have a big slow zone, and then the Imperial Mandate is proccing on everyone who is inside that slow zone. So you're very tanky, it's a very cheap build. It's one of the reasons you can play it from the support role, although obviously with it being center, he has a little bit more gold income than he usually would.
Yeah, it's like 2,500 gold. That item gives you ability power, haste, health, AP item per legendary, so it's great to pick up for Swain. We used to see this kind of build on, I think it was a TF with Font of Life or something like this. I can't remember what it was specifically. There was a similar build with Font of Life somewhere towards that. Nevertheless, Dragon is in 50 seconds. Base is coming in, stopwatch is being picked up. Rogue have a choice here. We could fight this, try to get the soul and flip it. And if we do get it, we're in an incredibly good position for the rest of the game.
Yeah, because Mountain Soul against the dive as well is so strong.
Yeah, fantastic. Or you could just give it. Scale. Ornn, Aphelios, take some time, play it slow. Them getting the dragon doesn't really mean anything. They're not going to get a soul point this game whatsoever, unless this goes very, very late.
Broken Blade looking for Larson. Everfrost coming out as well. Larson trying to heal up with the Kingslayer. Stopwatch now used. That's huge. 30 seconds before the dragon. Larson now doesn't have that get out of jail free card.
They have to give it. They realistically just have to give this. Push in mid, try to get some topside vision to slow down any Baron start, which will be incredibly fast from this Yasuo Yone.
G2 just
The
getting
TP
control. TP coming in. Call of the Forge God, of course, could be huge here. Rogue stepping into the darkness. Flash forward, flash away by Targamas. That's actually big. Because the fact he can't flash onto the backline with that demonic ascension is huge here. Call of the Forge God, an option for Rogue.
Eyes on Jankos. Where is he going to flash? When's he going to flash? He's looking at the backline of Rogue right now. No one wants to finish this dragon. They want to find an engage before that happens. Malrang looking for the flank. He can blast on over the wall.
Odo rooted. Takes a bit of a chance. Malrang looking for that flank position. Could go in. Jankos onto the backline. Immediately, Comp is down. He's bailed out, but he can't survive. The dragon resets, and Larson now on the backline trying to do what he can. Caps putting the damage down is a double for him. Odo Omne trading against 3 down towards the bottom side. Trimby coming in, trying to save Malrang. They will get Caps. Trimby, though, will not be able to save his jungler. Odo chased away. The rest of Rogue lie tattered in the river. Odo will fall as well. And G2 claim the ace, but only one death.
Rogue walk into G2's trap, and you can see how quick Jankos is and snaps his fingers and jumps onto Comp. It's a matter of time before the jump happens, and Comp has to react to it. But how can he react to this? Jankos looks initially, and then he says to himself, just go. Instantly, the second Comp pops his ult. He's dived on. The bailout procs, and then it's just an all-out brawl of Broken Blade and Caps trying to dish out as much damage as they can. Targamas trying to fend for himself against Odo Omne and Trimby. Caps, Larson, tries his best with the demonic ascension taken away from Flacket, but they don't have enough damage. Caps eventually falls. Odo Omne is forced off towards the side, and when you're playing this Orin Aphelios comp, you want to play front to back, but how can you play front to back when you're just being dove on time after time?
And it's G2 just so quick on the trigger. As you say, it was Comp ulted, and it's like, go. He's immobile, we can catch him out here. Of course, did still have the flash, still has it now, had the Gale Force at the time as well. G2 will claim the Baron alongside their first Mountain Dragon. Their first dragon of any kind apart from Cloud so far this split.
And you have to wonder what happens if Rogue just give that dragon and say, you know what, you have it, we'll slow down Baron, right? Try to scale up a little bit more, because you're fighting this Yone Yasuo in their biggest spikes, and Comp inevitably is going to get flashed on. There's really nothing he can do. The bailout gives him enough time to maybe get a kill back, but he doesn't have enough damage to burst through those shield bows anyway. He doesn't have enough items to do so. Regardless, 7k gold lead for G2. They picked up their first dragon. 3 minutes until the next soul possibility for Rogue. They have the Baron as well, so they're going to push in. Try to play for this tier 2. Their siege is not the best when you're playing 3 melee champs, right? Yeah. But splitting up is probably the best idea. As you can see, Caps is pushing in top, Jankos hovering around him.
I mean, the good thing for G2 is they've given Flackhead all of the extra range that the other champions don't have. He's at 93 stacks. He's stacking up towards that long-range artillery that Senna does become. Only at an item and a half right now, but will continue to scale as this game goes on. G2 now grouped up as 4 towards this top side. Jankos doesn't have the flash, does have the possibility of engaging. Trimby waiting here as well. Hostile takeover, a possibility. Broken Blade has TP, and you can see Rogue trying to react to this. Jankos looking for it. Hostile takeover goes in, but already Trimby's down. Larson's going to try and trade it around Comp from the side, putting the damage down, but Larson has the pot. The stopwatch. Odo Omne going in. Comp Gale forces forward, dodges away from the face shield as well. Broken Blade, though, on a rampage now is the rest of Rogue. Are just melted in the top lane. Targamas unkillable. G2 unkillable as Rogue fall once again.
Oh, G2 are relentless. Rogue show their faces, and they're jumped upon, pranced upon instantly by G2, and they just have so much goddamn damage that Rogue don't stand a hell of a chance. Trimby and Larson were gone from the get-go, and they're just going to be able to end the game.
Marching down the top lane, G2 looking to continue how they ended spring. Currently in the LEC, they are on a 14-game winning spree, and Trimby will not be able to defend against 4 of them. The Nexus in their sights. XL, Mad Lions, and G2 undefeated still at the end of day 2.
And what an exciting comp to watch. Yasuo Yone, they played it to perfection. You saw that clear win condition of diving onto backlines, and those dragon fights, the second they hit their spikes, you have to feel for comp. There's really, the rest of the team has to pick up the slack, because, you know, they use everything to take you down. Maybe a stopwatch could help in that dragon fight or something like that, but even then, you're CC'd in a blink of an eye, right? So you're going to have to react instantaneously.
We saw Few Fnatic faithful, it seems, in the audience, as Hylissang's going to step forward here. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
You know
doesn't
what?
go for anything.
The real Chad move on Rakan is you just W over the Drake pit and ward their red and walk away.
Yeah, I think it's less Chad when they're all waiting for you there, or is it even
That's
more
what makes it
Chad?
Chad.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Because then
sense.
they chase you and you have no W. And they don't have that much gap goes either unless Treats would flash forwards. But anyway, that's what happened. Just looking for someone there, Hilly. The stack won't pay off, but there is a ward on that Tribush, so they know Hilly is around there. Upset playing with the Halo Blades. Of course, lots of kill pressure in that bot side of the map.
Humanoid going for first strike here on the Corki. Does have a bit of a range advantage into the Victor as the game goes on. Obviously, early laning can be a bit of a struggle for the Corki. Expect to be pushed in. Victor with the Death Ray and with the Siphon Power means that he can kind of shield himself and walk towards you as you try and put damage down onto him. But the shield obviously mitigates any of that damage that you might be able to enact. And you can see Humanoid realizing that has gone for the Dorman shield himself.
So, Gideon starting on the red. Razork starting on the red. We got a kind of split map, cross map kind of thing going on where Gideon will go top side, Razork will go bot side, trade off of crabs, both will base, and maybe there won't be too much action unless lanes trade quite aggressively. I think Wunder might be the one who's gonna struggle in the early game. GP is so oppressive early stages with the Grasp Q procs, and we'll see how that pans out with the Corrupting Pot. Doran shield there to try to help him out.
Interesting decision by Razork to go single pot control ward here on his first start. Obviously, jungle these days, if you kite properly, it's pretty easily tankable. You can do it on most champions, but going for that control ward early means that he has just a little bit of extra awareness of where Gilius may be, especially if that split map did happen and Gilius went in and tried and stole his blue away. It would have given him a bit more vision.
Yeah, and look where he's placed it. He's placed it on the brush closest to his side of the map. He didn't put it in the middle brush because then if Gideus runs through it, it's very highly likely he'll just take it. And you want to make sure that pink ward that you invested in early just stays for as long as possible. So just put it on your side of the map. Still gives a little bit of vision in that bot side river. And of course, Wukong won't get low enough in the clear that he needs a refillable. So just needs that one health pot to his top side camps, and we'll go towards the bot side. Ward, so Humanoid here, maybe this is something Fnatic were trying to keep track of because Humanoid was dying to a lot of ganks up against, I believe it was the Vi of Malrang, I think it was off the top of my head. He was dying to ganks unnecessarily at times, and it just came from early mid ganks. And now he's got the bot side river entrance warded off, his own entrance warded off. So at this point with Corki W as well, you should not really die to any ganks. Gideon is actually skipping a lot of his camps here to look for some kind of top dive. He's wasting a lot of time on this top side of the map if they don't get this kill.
So Wunder knows that this is happening. He knows Gilius is on this side of the map. Thunder and Blow coming out. Wunder's going to try and flash away the barrels chained in. The parlay going forward as well in the trial by fire.
Wow.
The final order will be enough. Good tanking there by Gilius. Good play there by SK.
And the amount of damage they had just seals the deal, doesn't it? Wunder was not even close to half HP. He was 70-80%, had a potion as well. I think he probably used it during that exchange. Fleet flashed away. Doesn't matter. Gilius doesn't even have to use his own flash. Pretty clean and simple, easy dive there from Gilius. Gets Genax ahead. Will be able to save his TP if he wants to. And now he'll go back to his camps. Razork spotted out on the bot side of the map.
And it shows the best laid plans. You know, placing a control ward down towards the bottom side, placing a ward towards your Razorbeak entrance can still go awry. And Wunder here really didn't do too much wrong. You know, he's underneath this tower at level 2. Maybe he could have backed away, but you give up 2 waves if you do that.
Maybe he could try for a level up. I think that's what he did. He did get the level up, and then he took W and healed himself. Still not enough at all. Volibear PTA does so much damage level 3, and then the GP, not even tanking, can get his damage off as well. So Gideus will be a little bit further behind on the clear. You can see Razork's already based and picked up the 2 longswords. He'll be coming out of base to his second respawn. Gideus needs to get that base off soon, and as I said, I think Certus might go back to base 2.
Yeah, but Genax already has a sheen towards this top side. Like, he can just parlay. He has the grasp as well if he takes any detrimental trades. You can see Razork now working his way up towards this top side, being like, I need to help my top laner. I need to try and find a way to make it easier for him to lane because he has no flash, no TP, and with the wave, looks like it's going to be relatively even right now. Actually might push towards Wunder. Razork is now going to try and at least get a summoner out of Genax.
The beauty here is Genax still has flash after that dive and Wunder doesn't. And then the Kayle is really weak early, of course, and trying to gank the Kayle lane is basically like you have to solo kill the enemy top laner as the jungler. So Razork's just going to back off and say there's nothing to be done there. He placed a pink in the river, so that'll help out Wunder a little bit. Humanoid yet to TP back. Did get a base off though because he has a tier. Dragon still up. We'll see if Gilius wants to start that one up now. He's hovering on the bot side river with Treats by his side.
Could go for that Dragon. Volibear very tanky in the early game. They are going to start it up. Army Cinder there. They were both spotted on this Scuttle Crab. It looks like actually a few pings coming out. Maybe I'm thinking Upset could work his way up here, but with Jezu here as well, should be a pretty easy secure for SK. Hylissang working his way towards the mid lane. He'll be spotted on a ward as well, so Certus knows to back away, and that's the first drag in the game. Only 5 minutes in for SK, already stacking those up.
It looks like Humanoid's called Hylissang to come towards mid so he can push this wave in, but Certus has a little bit of pushback going on. I wonder if did he just demat the creep as well? I think he did. He wants to stop Humanoid from crashing it. In the end, Humanoid will get all the creeps, and that'll make it so he's just going to base and TP back. Certus didn't have access to the ultimate to try and find any kill pressure there. Hilly just helping his mid laner out. Now back to bot, so a little bit of bot push going in favor of Fnatic makes it so it can bleed into other lanes.
And the bot push is expected. Tristana plays waves relatively quickly. Ezreal does not. You know, he can only really use his Mystic Shot, doesn't have any of that AoE, but with Hylissang just using the W, there's the Zenith blade forward. Upset's now used the dash as well. Gideus can go in. Cannon Barrage has been used. Upset's going to flash away, still has the cleanse here, and will use it immediately to get away from this. Will escape underneath the tower, re-engage onto Treats, will flash into this bush
Is
here.
he dead?
Explosive
I think he's
shot.
dead.
He is dead. Upset gets the reset, and now Gideus in for a world of hurt because Razork joins the fight. Jezu trying to turn it back around onto Hylissang. He does still have the flash himself.
Nice little movement there at the end by Hylissang, dodging out on Jezu's Q, and yeah, the 2v3 was turning in their favor. Razork arrives just in time. Gileas was over-forcing that play a little bit. The GP ult great, you get Upset's flash, but then flashing to stun when he has cleanse basically achieves nothing, so Upset can walk away pretty happily. Hylissang's also quite mobile, so this bot lane of Fnatic that they've drafted, so much mobility to escape ganks.
You saw how they just layered it on top of each other here. It's because Upset goes for this bit of a jump onto Treats. They think maybe we have an opportunity to go in. He's no longer got that W, and they look to make the play happen as Treats Zenith Blades to get the jump out of Upset.
Yeah, good buffer by Upset to make sure he can't get stunned before he jumps away. There's the GP ult, so Upset flashes it to get out of range of it as quickly as possible, cleanses away from the stun, and then this is where Treats goes a little bit too deep, you have to imagine, because Hylissang punishes him in a 2v3, instantly get the kill. Razork's not needed, but Razork's just there for backup. Jump forwards. Maybe could have jumped on Jezu to get his flash, but Gileas no flash. You think there's kill pressure there, but the exhaust is still up, so they couldn't get it. And then it just ends up in a 1-4-0 for Fnatic. That'll help Upset out so much on this Tristana. But no summoners. Has to be a little bit careful.
Obviously, Tristana relatively safe. You can buffer the jump out of CC. That's what we saw there. What you mentioned, the Zenith Blade came in, and if you press W before you are rooted, you get out. Makes it pretty easy for him to escape. Jenax here has a wave pushing into him. Should play this relatively safely. Doesn't need to use that barrel to clear out the wave. Instead, just use it for movement speed. Razork, though, does have the Cyclone and flashed away by Jenax, respecting the Fnatic jungler.
Unlucky timing there for Razork, because as he went for the gank, Jenax shot his barrel, so he got a bonus move speed buff. So by the time Razork was running at him in stealth, Jenax was already running away with the boost speed, of course. Now he's going to start up the Herald. Maybe he thinks that they win the 2v2 top jungle. The problem is Treats has roamed up and he's ran through a ward, so I wonder if Razork's saying let's cancel this Herald start, because otherwise you're just leashing it. Maybe he can sneak it away on the top side pink, but yeah, there's nothing to do here. He just has to give it up. We'll see what Hylissang does. If Hylissang runs back towards the top side, maybe they want to go for a 4v4. He is going to do it. So there might be a fight around this Herald. Gileas looks for Razork, only gets the clone though. So Razork's forced away, a little bit of chunk damage, healed up.
Wow, Stormbringer going in as well. Razork very low. Cyclone has been used. Razork just forced away 150 HP on him.
Oh, Ezreal won't hit. It's going to be way too wide, but they're going to get the Herald now, SK. So Razork loses out really heavily on that play. Starts it up himself, and he's just forced out after using his ult.
And for the moment, SK able to get back on the board with this Rift Herald. We'll see what they can get out of it. Obviously, Rift Herald, very important. Ooh, okay. For a second there, with it and being no smite on Gileas, Hylissang had an opportunity to steal it. Rift Herald always is potential gold. It's not actualized on the map as of yet. I think a plate went down to Upset down towards the bottom lane because of all this movement, so he's almost got 2, which means SK will want to get at least 2 plates out of this. Thankfully, they haven't lost the golden XP that often you do when you move your AD carry away. They'll lose 1 wave of that. It's not the end of the world for Jez.
Definitely isn't. I think they're just going to run down here and pop the Herald as well, just get the full tower so Upset can get all the gold funneled into him, get quickly to that mythic item.
Fnatic will struggle to do that as they don't have the Herald. It went over to SK, of course, so...
Bit of a brain fart there, SK have it. So maybe they can repay Jezu with the gold that he's lost to his own plates.
Hylissang jumping forward, does now have the level 6, takes the tower shot and can just dash back to Upset. Hylissang doing that is really just indicative of, we want to reset, let's try and force Jezu away from...
I think he got it, had to burn his cleanse though. And Hilly was on a ward, but he didn't know it. I think he popped the ult expecting Jezu to walk up for one of the creeps that was low HP and then just instantly flash combo on him before he can react. But of course he can react when he's on vision. That's going to be second dragon over to SK. Razork is around again on the same side of the map that an objective is falling, but he can't fight it. Humanoid has package, but they're at such a numbers disadvantage. They can't really go for this.
And Gileas Doesn't have Stormbringer, will have to flash here. Humanoid might look for the chase, goes in.
Okay.
There's still no Stormbringer. Humanoid still has the Valkyrie to get away. Just some damage down onto the SK jungle.
Yeah, a lot of damage as well. Has first strike, so a little bit of gold too. Quite an alpha play there. Just uses it straight on top of the volley bear. Takes a lot of Gilius' HP. We'll see if Razork finds Surtus here. The E will give vision. Yeah, smart play there, but he's still walking in. Razork does have the Cyclone, but Surtus can just put down the gravity field. This does mean that Humanoid has a bit more time to auto-attack that tower. Should get him 2 plates. And Fnatic about, 600 gold in the lead. 300 gold. That's the maths in the lead. But a 700 gold lead for Humanoid in the mid lane. It's been a long weekend.
It has been a long weekend, man. I wanted to quickly talk about Kayle a little bit. It has been a while since we last saw her here in the LEC. Summer Playoffs 2020, when Wonder played it for G2. He went 2-7-4. Lost that game, unsurprisingly.
It was the meta when Kayle was the counterpick to Ornn.
Yeah.
Back in the days.
And it's still the meta now, once again. Kayle the counterpick to Ornn. To anyone that doesn't really understand what Kayle does, because it has been a while since we've seen her, basically, for the first 6 levels of the game, she is almost as bad as a melee minion, probably around that level. After she hits level 6, her passive gives her ranged auto attacks. Those then upgrade to stronger ranged auto attacks when she hits level 11 and gives her sort of an AoE on them. A little bit like Ravenous Hydra AoE, but not quite. And then at level 16, she becomes even stronger and gets bonus attack range. So what you see often is the early game Kayle, very susceptible to ganks. We saw it in this game. And then as she slowly scales up and as she gets towards level 16, she becomes stronger and stronger. Yeah, and if you're at home enjoying the stream, you might see a little chat box flying on the right with a number and a kind of clock next to it with a scared face. 9 out of 16, because when she hits level 16, that's when she's going to be the strongest. So we'll keep our eye on that. Razork might be caught here. Jumps onto Treats. Now he can flash away here. Presses S, trying to bait them out. This clone will allow him to escape. Riptide use him in the mid lane as they're looking to try and force Humanoid out, but Gilius no longer has the Thundering Roar, can no longer charge forward, so just clear out the minion. This Riptide will charge in, but remember towers have Bulwark, so the more plates fall, the tankier they become, which means Surtus will just be here trying to get a little bit of extra damage. That tower will not fall as of yet. Yeah, it looks like the Herald was actually timing out there, so just may as well use it mid, get the victory, a little bit of gold. Still down a lot of gold though, surprisingly. If you check it out against Humanoid's Corki, almost 1,000 gold down. Upset trying to get this bot tier 1. Treats and Hilly having a little bit of supportal combat. Razork's around. It's a 3v3 on the bot side of the map. Wunder has TP up, but can't TP towards creeps until next 30 seconds. Wants to get towards that Nashor's Tooth before he joins any fight. So with the game being 1-1 and 13.5 minutes, SK slightly behind in gold, but only about 200-300 with 2 dragons. It looks like Fnatic are trying to make something happen down towards this bottom lane. Gilius is here to defend, but that tower is 2 hits away from dead. Upset puts the explosive charge down onto it, and SK will realize their tower is forfeit. Fnatic get their 2nd of the game. But what I wanted to lead into is, like, if you were these teams, how would you feel this game was going for you? Would you be happy on either side?
I think as SK, I'd be a little bit unhappy with what's going on in bot, because they blind picked the Rakan and then we're playing a Leona lane into a lane where maybe we could have a little bit more push. Of course, Gilius kind of, with that play towards bot when he flashed onto Upset, gave them a kill and made it so bot lane was kind of not lost from that point, but extremely hard. The global hasn't been used as much as maybe they would like, but they lost their bot tier 1. It sucks, you just have to move on from it. I mean, Jezu is pretty strong. He's got his Essence Reaver now.
That's fine. Well, it's not fine!
What the?
Oh, that's quintessential Hilly, though, isn't it?
Oh my God! What the hell just happened, Hilly? Hilly, man!
Alright, so when there's double globals on the enemy team, perhaps don't tank 3 tower shots as Rakan.
Giga Chat? Is that Giga Chat? Is that Giga Chat? No, I missed Hillisang. Imagine you're Humanoid, you're running through your lane, you see Hilly W your wave, tank 3 tower shots, you're like...
It's like, fine, okay, he's still alive. True Shot Barrage comes in,
okay, flashes
okay,
it.
5 minutes, that's fine.
Yeah, and then he dies anyway, and it's like... yeah, let's give this Herald, I guess.
They might not give it, we'll see.
Today's been wild.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a weird one at times. Obviously, so what Hillisang is trying to do there is catch the wave, delay it, so you can get mid lane shove, so you can move to the Herald quicker with your team. What he didn't need to do was tank 3 tower shots, burn his flash, and then die afterwards. So
yeah,
yeah.
If you don't watch the LEC often, that's Hillisang. That's an introduction to what he does sometimes, and sometimes he does incredible plays. So we'll see what he does on this next Dragon fight, because he still has ultimate. Genax has no bot tier 1 to run towards. Razork's collapsing. Gilius saw them, so he's trying to buy his top laner time. Dragon spawns in 3 seconds. Would put SK on soul point. Wunder has hit level 11, and I believe, yeah, he does have his Nashor's Tooth, but he's a little bit split from the rest of his team. Genex doesn't have the Cannon Barrage, and with the recall coming in from Humanoid, you have to wonder, are they giving this?
Looks like it
Would
might
put
be.
them on
oh,
soul
good
point.
Solar Flare as well to stop the recall from Humanoid. Dragon started now by SK. Solar Flare down though, so Fnatic might look to take the fight. Good start onto Razork. The Dragon low. Razork gets it. Razork will pay for it with his life, as will Hillsang. Upset diving in with the Divine Intervention. The Divine Intervention could only save you for so long. Double flash. Ripped to pieces by Gilius. Fnatic get the Dragon, but at what cost?
A little bit indecisive there from Fnatic. It looked like the call was let's let Humanoid base buy whatever item he has because he must be sitting on a lot of gold, then TP back in. But the second it gets cancelled, they can't afford to wait any longer. They all go in, but they dive on top of 4 members of SK. So much damage with the Victor ult. And here it looked like Upset could make a miracle play with the Kayle ult on top of him. Could do a lot of damage with the explosive as well on his E. But yeah, he tries to flash away, gets chased. And I mean, Wunder really couldn't find his way into the fights. And Humanoid probably sitting on a lot of gold. I mean, he has got the Manamune in a lost chapter, but with 203 creeps, yeah, 1.2k gold, maybe he wants to base and buy something before the fight kicked off.
He did have the TP to get back into the fight. Maybe they thought they could delay for long enough, and then when the Solar Flare was down, they're like, okay, that's a big ultimate. We have to fight now. Didn't work for Fnatic. They are still relatively even in gold, though, and they did stop the Dragon from going over to SK.
That's basically it, right? The good news is they've stalled the Dragon. The bad news is you've given gold across. And with this Herald falling, you expect it to go towards mid, and then they should be able to get that mid-tier 1 as well. So SK still yet to pick up their first tower of the game. Humanoid has package in base, but he did not pick it up. So I expect that they're waiting for another team fight around the next Dragon perhaps, or when they're sieging on their mid turret.
That's the thing, you have a minute to use it after you pick it up, and it spawns on 6-minute cycles. So if you picked it up now, you'd have to use it in the next minute, and it wouldn't be up for the next Dragon. And it seems like that's what Fnatic are likely to want to fight around. Obviously, they can still try and force team fights, they can still try and look for things, but right now, seem to be willing just to try and scale up. Wunder already at the Nashor's Tooth, 12 out of 16 in terms of levels, working his way up towards that devilishly difficult to deal with Kayle.
So SK have the Herald once again, and they have many options as to where to place it. Looks like it's just going to be dropped mid here by the positioning of Gilius. And then you expect them to move into bots maybe and get this bot tier 1. Genex has a wave, but looks like by the positioning of Certes, they're going to give up top. I mean, they can use the Cannon Barrage top as well to slow down the waves. And I mean, I feel like if you're ahead like this and you have a Herald, you should be playing on 2 lanes. Genex maybe should not have moved towards mid. Gilius could have ran straight towards bot because you're giving up this top tier 1 anyway, but maybe they can play for 2 towers mid. There's pings there, but Gilius is looking for Wunder.
The wave timing wasn't the best for SK in the mid lane. They had to clear out a minion wave that was coming to them, and they didn't have extra minions to push forward with, so it will get another charge. And because Gilius worked his way down towards the bottom side, Wunder had to back away, knowing his team was on a reset. This will give time for Genex to take this tower alongside that cannon minion. So SK will get 2 towers out of the players. Jezu's caught out just a little bit, flashes and dashes to safety.
Didn't have the E. I think he probably just E'd over to the wall to recall, to try to get as much distance away as possible. But now that opens up a mid-tier 1 for Fnatic, they're going to take that. So we'll answer back and keep the turret lead, keep the gold lead, and try to pressure on into SK's jungle. But SK definitely putting up a hell of a fight here. Stuck with the same roster going into summer. Very competitive in this first week against Fnatic. Razor gets the red buff away from Gilius, deep vision from Hilly, and they're all going to back away.
Hex gates are so much fun, man. Like, just seeing these orbs fly across the map. It's like a Pokemon,
you can be very, very creative with them, can't you? But at times, sometimes, you know, you use them and then you look where you're landing and you're like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Then you're just TPing into 4 people.